Hi, you're with George Prochaska and Brad Anderson on Category Chat with George. We're talking live here today in Fort Worth with one of our vendor partners in the industrial products and services category. The whole idea of working with vendors is to try to get closer to where the supply is coming from, to collaborate, and to make things better for all of our category buyers, as well as our category partners. Now, ADS, or Atlantic Diving Supply, is an established vendor on our supplier relationship panel. That's a new experiment we've started in the last year. It has large vendors and small vendors, and it's just an experiment to try to get the relationship better, and then in turn drive the category metrics like spend under management, savings, contract consolidation, or increasing small business supply. So Brad, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about how long ADS has been around, some of the product categories you're in, and just kind of go from there. Give us an overview.
Thanks, George. I appreciate you having me here today. So I'm Brad Anderson. I'm the VP of Contracts with ADS Incorporated. We started about 20 years ago as a small diving shop in Virginia Beach servicing Navy SEALs. Our products have grown from that, where we do 6 major categories now, servicing OCIE, organizational clothing and individual equipment. We do weapons and optics. We do combat support equipment. We do medical supplies. We do C4ISR communications equipment, and then also what we call special mission solutions, which is firefighting, EOD, that type of individual equipment for soldiers in all branches of the military and federal government.
Wow, that's a really good overview, Brad. Thanks for that. And as you guys were listening, you probably noticed a couple of those things that they're in overlap into the industrial products and services category. I know they are contract holders with both GSA and with Defense Logistics Agency. In particular, I'm kind of tied into the fire aspect for our category of what Brad mentioned. Brad, as a supplier partner, what do you see as some of the value of being on the supplier relationship panel, and just in general, the government trying to collaborate better with suppliers?
Well, we felt a big change this past year for GSA as they've reached out to us to really want to be a partner with industry. In the past, we've seen a lot of contracting agencies they're nervous about talking to vendors. They think we're the enemy sometimes, or trying to charge the government too much money. And GSA, as an organization, they seem to realize on all levels that it's a partnership between the two of us, that we as vendors are out there trying to provide products to the men and women in our military and the government who need those, and you guys are trying to buy them. And so we need to work together to figure out the best plan to make it easiest for them, because if we're not on the same page, that doesn't help us get through the red tape. That's something that we all have to work our way through anyway.
Right, and so that's a really great segue into this next part. I mean, today Brad was here, and he was talking to some of our contracting specialists, our business development specialists, and they were talking about ways to better connect value for our customers. And that's really neat. One of the things we'd like to do is to be a better partner. We're hoping we can do a lot of things. We hope we can wring out a little bit of the risk in the supply chain, but we also hope that maybe we can get better value for our customers by collaborating. Do you have any ideas or thoughts on what we could do to get better value? I'm thinking, for one, you might want to comment on the use of government-wide contracts to get spend under management. I know y'all do some open market contracting, but you're also on government contracts. So what are your thoughts on that, Brad?
Well, in our business, we always preach from day one that anytime customers can buy off a long-term contract that's already out there, we're going to save both time and money for the government and for the customer. So government-wide acquisition contracts such as GSA, where the items are already on multiple award schedule, it gives you a launching pad where half of the work is already done for the contracting officer who's doing the buy, because the price is already deemed fair and reasonable by warranted contracting officers with GSA. So anytime they don't have to start back and reinvent the wheel from ground zero, it's going to save government dollars and it's going to save time for the end user. So ADS tries to be a part of as many long-term contract vehicles as we can, so that we don't have to start back over on an FBO open market type contract, which is going to have a longer lead time. So we work on about 61 different long-term contracts right now, trying to provide multiple options to our customers.
So this sounds like a way that we can lower the burden on the vendor by not having to duplicate their work, and also lower the burden on the government because they only have so many contracting officers to go around and get the work done. So today was our conversation with ADS and a supplier. If you would, send us back a comment and let us know what you thought about it, if it was helpful, if you learned something, if you have any ideas as a result of hearing this conversation. Brad and the whole team back at ADS, the category, would just like to say thanks, and we appreciate you being a partner.
Thanks, George. We appreciate you guys and all the work you do with us.
Take care.